Today's topic, video game music.
I now wholeheartedly believe that this was a topic I thought of.
This is a topic you mentioned to me as we were putting our shoes on to leave the studio.
I am...
Wait.
Into it.
Wait.
Oh.
All right, what were you going to say?
I'm a connoisseur of some video game music.
Let's go chronologically here. Let's go back. What's the first system you played?
Probably NES.
NES? Let's start there. NES.
So I have two significantly older brothers. They're 7 and 10 years older than me, and I'm 29 tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. So they had all the systems. We had a bunch of cool systems, which was great. Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES, just a football game, before like Madden and stuff. Really good soundtrack. Very like rock guitar emulating.
I remember playing it. I can't think of the music off the top of my head.
Well, because there was Tecmo Bowl, which I don't even know, and then there's Tecmo Super Bowl. Extremely good. Just very, almost like the NFL music. Just very melodically memorable and intense. The Blue Marlin fishing game. Kind of like before the Black Bass. We all know the Black Bass. So good. Let's see, NES. I mean, the Mario stuff. We had 1, 2, and 3. Those are really good. Final Fantasy 1, we had that. That's really good. But the big ones for me were Blue Marlin, which is a really underrated one. Blue Marlin and Tecmo. My family calls it Tecmo. How about you?
So as far as NES goes, like, which was the good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game? Was it Turtles in Time?
No. Okay.
Or was that Batman?
No. I should have said that. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NES game has an insane soundtrack.
Super good.
With like the underwater level.
Yeah.
That's like yeah. That's I think that's just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But that soundtrack is amazing. The guy that did that game also did, I think, Shatterhand? Yeah, okay, because there's a bunch of NES games that I didn't play that I found out have insane soundtracks as an adult. Gimmick and Shatterhand are the main ones. Also Castlevania stuff. I mean, how do you not?
Right.
Yeah, let me amend. Blue Marlin, Tecmo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Are there any like Super Nintendo games that you're like really passionate about?
Yes.
That, you know, have maybe shaped anything about you? Can you think of anything?
This may have been spoiled to you by literally every conversation I have with any person that I've ever had in my entire
That's why
life,
I brought it up.
including priests, scholars, my godparents. Yeah, Earthbound is the greatest video game soundtrack ever for a lot of reasons. It's like experimental and weird, but incredibly melodic and really goofing with you, especially if you're a kid, really showing you some interesting music stuff. Also uses a lot of really cool samples from old songs, like Beatles songs, but then, you know, can totally turn around and just make you cry with the super emotive stuff. There's like a theme of homesickness and parents and stuff the whole time, and when they really touch on that strongly, it's actually pretty fucking effective. A lot of the other music also just has a great sense of humor. Probably the single most formative thing, art-wise, of my entire life. Other Super Nintendo games? I mean, Donkey Kong Country is really good. It's
Classic.
Like fucking, you know, vaporwave creating,
right.
You know, type of shit. But yeah, Super Nintendo for me is just far and away Earthbound. I probably like the soundtrack more than I like the game, honestly.
Really?
Yes. Literally changed my whole life, which is lame, but very true.
NES, Super Nintendo, none of like the soundtracks are overly, like, I'm weird about stuff. But like once we got more into like the PlayStation era, like kind of the soundtracks got more memorable to me.
A lot of the older ones are they're pretty hard to listen to. I mean, I definitely...
The 8-bit, like...
Yeah, the humor is not lost on me when I'm like sitting at my desk at 3 a.m, just jamming some Blue Marlin sound. You know, like it's really stupid and funny. N64 to some extent and PS1 and like Dreamcast, you were starting to get into like a genuine copy of like actual contemporary music for sure.
Right. I remember playing as a kid Resident Evil 1 and being really scared by it, and it had a scary soundtrack. And then whenever you'd go into a save room, I don't know how to call it, like angelic, like you felt safe when you heard the sound. And that just added to the game. Like you knew you had to walk back out and everything, zombies were trying to eat you.
Yeah.
So it just added to the horror element of it.
Yeah, it's like a brief respite from the intensity. I mean, all that stuff being so intentionally composed, you know, you can tell they were working closely with the people in charge of the gameplay aspect of it and everything. I mean, it's just like a good movie soundtrack. You know, it's like everyone says about the Star Wars movies. The soundtrack is basically spoilers. If you really, because there's like a theme for everything. They basically tease the future things that will happen, or, you know, I mean, this is a common thing. The soundtrack of a movie will sort of highlight and potentially foreshadow plot points. The video game soundtracks are totally similar. You know, the music that goes with a piece of art was going to tell you how to feel.
I remember Crash Bandicoot had a fun little soundtrack.
I didn't play a lot of those games.
It's a solid game.
I played some Crash Team Racing, but I can't tell you.
Good game too.
Good game. I can't tell you I remember the soundtrack though.
Final Fantasy VII. I remember that's like probably one of the top 3 video game soundtracks for me.
I mean, it's one of the greatest.
It's so good. Like everything about it is so good.
They knew they had to do it, and they had the right people.
So I remember coming home, I had my PlayStation, I set it up, and it had in the PlayStation box, there was a pack-in demo for all these games. And Final Fantasy VII was one of the demos on it, and it had the music. And I just, something about it, I'm like, I need to buy this game. I need to play it.
That guy, who had been doing all the music, all the NES games, and to a certain extent the SNES games, were very, what a hilarious thing for us to be talking about. Those games, they're very straightforward, really accessible, like very normal. But then as the sound chips got more and more intense, or at least this guy just chose to do this for Final Fantasy VII, there was like all this jazz stuff and all these weird notes and all this interesting key modulation stuff. It became like really like jazz influenced or like fusion influenced.
Right, action.
Yes. I gotta say, Earthbound soundtrack for the Super Nintendo and the Mega Man X soundtrack, that's on there as well for me. Those are the 2 big boys. I forgot about that one. PS1 I never had, didn't play a lot of. I played some N64 stuff. Paper Mario soundtrack. PlayStation 2.
So PS2, GameCube, original Xbox.
Yes.
One game that, you know, people go back and forth on how good of a game it is.
This is just us listing the names of games.
Kingdom Hearts. I remember that had a really nice soundtrack.
Really, really good.
Then a game called Halo 2 came out one day, and Steve Vai and Nile Rodgers, who contributed a lot to the Random Access Memories album.
Well, and also just the history.
And a bunch of other shit, too.
Like disco
that was like towards
and
the end.
funk, yeah. I didn't know that Nile was on that.
that.
I knew that was a lot of Steve Vai, but not... well, I mean, also just regular Halo with fucking the Gregorian chant thing.
Right.
I mean, that was huge. Paper Mario again, Thousand Year Door on GameCube. Incredible. Wind Waker. Really, really good. Dude, Dragon Roost Island. Come on. Play that. It's like a flute, dude. Oh, put it in right there like as I'm doing.
We forgot Link to the Past.
Fuck Link to the Past.
What?
I don't give a shit. Well, Ocarina, though. That's a classic.
See, I like Link to the Past more.
You guys could get into the fact that during like the PS2 era, they started having actual music in like Grand Theft Auto.
Actual music?
You know what? No,
This is a...
It's all been actual
you know what
music.
I mean? Like popular stuff that would be on the radio.
No.
is also
Do you want to hear something that's popular?
Yeah, MP3s?
The penile enhancement industry is very large, and sometimes people would often
Unlike
approach
my
me.
penis, yeah.
People would approach me and say, "What is a natural way for me to increase the size of my penis?" And I take that conversation and go straight to, have you played Starcraft Brood War?
Oh!
Have you listened to the Terran theme, dude? The Terran theme,
dude.
dude.
That fake guitar, man.
Oh, dude.
Oh, dude, the Terran theme.
Just makes you want to kill bugs.
Is there different music in Brood War?
No, it's the same music.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
it's fucking good.
Oh, dude. Yes. The one that I always think about is it's like the trumpet tone, and it's like. Oh, dude. Oh, so good.
There's a couple of tremolo dives on it.
Well, and there's like the sitar, like guitar shit.
Yeah.
Going. Oh, dude.
StarCraft can put Viagra out of business. If you need to be ready to go,
I get
Terran themed StarCraft Brood War.
Yeah, I get the fight boner from just playing StarCraft.
It's hard to be good at that game.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
My APMs in StarCraft are like
my APM, my average APM is like 70.
Oh!
And like Koreans are all 300 plus.
I don't even like want that at all.
No, that's hours of practice.
Hundreds of hours of practice. I have like 3,000 hours in WoW, and I'm not even good at that.
I
just listen
WoW
to
itself is not that good.
Yeah. I'm not
People that play the game are like, fuck this game.
I'm not making any statement about the quality, the low quality of WoW, but yeah.
Diablo 2?
I was not a Diablo 2 guy. I was a little too young. My brothers didn't play it. The Neverhood.
The Neverhood.
Yes, dude. Zany, weird soundtrack. The Neverhood is made by the guy that made Earthworm Jim. That obviously got his career off the ground, but it's this DreamWorks game. It's a point-and-click adventure. It's all claymation. It's like more funny than it is a good game, but it's like stupid and weird, but it's very good.
I put a lot of hours into Diablo 2 as a kid, and now that it's re-released, like now,
you're putting some hours into it now.
Lots of hours.
I burned out. I fizzled out a little bit.
I know. I found you a lot of good shit.
You did.
And then you don't fucking use it.
It's because just let me put the skills onto the numbers. Have a skill on my mouse buttons, and then you mouse up to change to a skill, and they should have made the game.
It might be coming.
No.
It might be coming.
They should have made the game better.
They're listening to people's critiques, and now nowadays skill
it's
bars
horrible.
No, it's not horrible.
Their
it's perfect.
game.
It's
Dude,
perfect.
WoW fixed that.
It's fucking perfect.
They admitted that it was bad.
Right.
15, 16
we
years
might
ago.
be getting a skill bar in Diablo 2.
Okay, not only should they have just made the skill bar in Diablo 2 1, not compared to Diablo 2 2, the remaster, the Unleashed, or what is it? Unchained? Resurrected.
Is that it?
I like Unchained. Dude, it's so bad.
It's not. The soundtrack
is good.
It has a very dark,
sitar-based soundtrack.
Yeah,
like the weird guitar thing is really good.
The Tristram theme. Act 1 is my favorite act. I think that's everyone's favorite act. But the music is so good.
Yeah, because I didn't quit playing. It's the only act I fucking played.
Damn, man.
Just
it's
kidding.
One of the
I played normal.
Games.
I did the whole normal. Is the first one called normal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Normal Nightmare Hell.
Normal Nightmare Hell. Sounds like my first 3 years at my previous employer.
We're moving on. We've got a lot of old classic games, classic systems, some PC games.
Okay.
Is there anything recent that is notable?
Cave Story. That's pretty old. Really, really good soundtrack. That guy, he wrote all the music and then wrote the program to track the music and wasn't a musician or something. That's super cool.
You know, it's a video game soundtrack that's tight, that's it spreads its way into everything, is the Doom soundtrack.
Yeah.
When the Doom music kicks in and you can watch someone make muffins in a fucking oven and it's like...
Oh. Or the
and it sounds like it's done on a keyboard almost.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
I was
that little pushing that
on the end of the
vibrato
Casio.
wheel. Oh. Yeah, I listen to Fusion, okay? I know what you're talking about.
Right. With Valentine's Day coming up, make her a disc, a CD, a burnt disc. Write on it with Sharpies. Songs I'm going to. Terran theme, Starcraft Brood War. 12 hours.
12 times.
And you're not getting up till it's done. You will lay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to take all
night.
Till
it's done.
It's going to take all night. It's not going to be good.